guys! Everyone of you who's watching this probably knows how much I love everything Disney, and that includes Disney villains. Disney villains are some of the greatest villains in film history, and when they're good, they are fun, they are just really fantastic, and they usually come with a very catchy song. But with anything good and great, there's also a bad side to them, and that includes Disney villains. So I thought it would be fun to follow up a video I did last year talking about my favorite Disney villains by talking about my least favorite Disney villains. So let's go. Number 10 is Shenyu from Mulan. Now, Shenyu is definitely evil, and he's definitely powerful, and he definitely does some really, really bad stuff. But why he's on this list is because he lacks that personal connection with the main protagonist, which is Mulan. He is just kind of this evil guy, you know, in the distance that she needs to beat. With the best villains, there needs to be some kind of personal connection between the hero and the villain, I think. Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. Voldemort killed Harry Potter's parents. There's a personal connection between that protagonist and the antagonist, and that's what's lacking. Plus, he's just kind of forgettable and boring, and I honestly can never remember his name. Number 9 is Robert Callahan from Big Hero 6. Disney has a problem with a lot of their villains in that a lot of their motivations are very cliche, very boring, and a lot of the times their villains just turn out to be really bland. And that's the case, I feel, with Robert Callahan. He definitely killed Hero's brother. That's really crappy. But he's just kind of boring. He's just kind of there. He looks cool, and he can definitely do some cool stuff. The motivation is just kind of played out, and in the end he was just kind of there. The villain is definitely not a strength of Big Hero 6. Number 8 is Bowler Hat Guy from Meet the Robinsons. My least favorite stretch of animated movies from Disney is from the 2000s, and that includes Meet the Robinsons. I thought the movie was just okay, and I thought it was just really, really, really silly and very childish. And a part of that was the villain. And he doesn't really have a name. He's just called Bowler Hat Guy. The villain wasn't really evil that much. He just kind of did really dumb, stupid things. And a lot of the things that he did provided some slapstick humor. I mean, he just wasn't a good, effective villain. And it was just kind of boring and just kind of stupid. Number 7 is Governor Ratcliffe from Pocahontas. Ratcliffe does have some personality, so, you know, that's a plus, because there's definitely some villains on this list that have no personality whatsoever. And he does have a catchy song, but I feel like his motivation, which is basically greed and power, is just kind of played out. It doesn't make much of an impact. The movie might have actually been better if they had just let the true villain of the story, which is prejudice and intolerance, actually be the real villain instead of Ratcliffe. The movie didn't need him. Number 6 is Bill Sikes from Oliver and Company. I thought Oliver and Company as a whole was just kind of forgettable. The actual characters themselves are really cliched, and that includes the villain. His motivation really didn't make sense. I mean, why would a loan shark give money to a homeless person? He's just a really forgettable villain. If you think of Disney villains, he is nowhere near the top of the list. His motivation was just really stupid. You've seen it before, and you've seen it be done better. A lot better. Number 5 is Mad Madam Mim. Madam Mim is fun. I will say that. She's quirky and I like that. However, her use in the film The Sword and the Stone is really bad. I've gone into detail about my thoughts on The Sword and the Stone and my feelings about the pacing problems. Them trying to insert some sort of villain felt really out of place, and it just derailed the movie even more than it had already been derailed. She just added nothing. It's just basically useless. If they had really kept her like as a constant thread throughout the movie instead of just introducing her 2/3 in and having her go away very quickly afterward, then she would have been a lot more effective. As it is, she's just not. Number 4 is Madame Medusa from The Rescuers. She is another one of those really cliched villains that is just motivated by simple greed. She just wants a diamond and she kidnaps a little kid to get that diamond. Her motivation is just really stupid, and it's been done so much before, and she's just really, really kind of annoying. The Rescuers in general wasn't great. It was good, it was okay, it was cute, but the villain is definitely not a good thing about The Rescuers. Number 3 is Commander Lyle Turvius Rourke from Atlantis: The Lost Empire. Talk about really played out villains. This villain was just so boring and so transparent. You knew immediately from the get-go he was a bad guy. He is selfish, he's greedy, but really annoyingly so, and the plot that they chose to tell with him was just so cliched, so played out, so annoying, and there's a lot of problems with Atlantis, and I feel like the villain is definitely one of them. And I said in my review of Atlantis that I felt like him and Milo were just way too different. It's good when a protagonist and antagonist contrast, but they also need to have some sort of similarity. The hero just went down one other path, they could have become the villain. Milo is never in danger of ever becoming Rourke. I don't really want to talk about him anymore. Number 2 is Edgar Balthazar from the Aristocats. I didn't like the Aristocats, and one of the biggest problems with the Aristocats was definitely the villain. And really, the characters in general. None of them were very likable, and none of them really made much sense. He's really dumb, the movie doesn't use him well, and he's really, really ineffective. Everything he tries to do completely fails, so any threat that comes from him is not there. So he, just in terms of a villainy level, he's probably the weakest in this list. Before we get to the very worst Disney villain, I thought I'd give some dishonorable mentions. Firstly, we have Clayton from Tarzan. He's just another one of those villains who's just there. He does some bad things, and he does have a really gruesome death, but you've seen him before and seen him done better. Cron from Dinosaur. Who? I know I've seen Dinosaur, and I know I've seen these characters, but I have no idea who this character is, what he did, what his motivation was. This whole movie was just really boring. The Horned King from The Black Cauldron. He's really scary, but that's about it. The worst Disney villain of all time is Alameda Slim from Home on the Range. Good God, this character is the dumbest thing I have ever seen in a Disney movie ever in my life. Home on the Range is the dumbest Disney movie. It's not my least favorite because Chicken Little forever and always will hold this black spot in my heart. But Home on the Range is a very close second. It is dumb, it is pointless, it is really needlessly loud, and there's no good in that movie whatsoever. And that extends to the villain. His motivation is so stupid, his powers of yodeling are the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This movie is just so aggravatingly stupid that it gives me a headache. This villain is really boring and just really dumb and asinine and just so gosh darn stupid. Disney, you came up with Frollo and Ursula and Scar, and then you give me Alameda Slim? I mean, at least some of the other villains on this list actually did something. I can't even express to you how aggravatingly stupid this character is. And I would say you should watch the movie and see for yourself, but I would never recommend anyone watch Home on the Range. Well, anyway, that's it, guys. those are my top 10 least favorite Disney villains. So let me know what you guys think. Who are your least favorite Disney villains? Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. And I will see you guys next week with a spooky video. Bye! Mwah. It's hard for me to get out there, but I'm a big old scaredy cat. Most people who know me know that I am very much a caution freak. I don't like being scared. Hey Liz, but your favorite show is The Walking Dead. I know, that's an anomaly. I don't like scary movies. The only ones I can stomach are older ones that aren't really scary. They're more thrillers, so like The Shining and Silence of the Lambs. I like those, but other than that, I can't do roller coasters. Except for like smaller ones. I can do those.